How does one airport move 108 million people in a single year? Atlanta's Hartsfield-Jackson did it again. But here's the real question. How does Atlanta keep beating every other airport on Earth year after year? In today's video, we'll find out why Atlanta is still the busiest airport in the world, and can it sustain its status? Well, before we start, take a moment to subscribe to Jet Logic. Here we bring some of the most amazing aviation stories that were never told before. 108 million passengers. Just say that again, 108 million. In 2024, Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport, better known as ATL, moved more people than the entire population of Germany. The number was reported by ATL Airport Chamber. 108 million isn't just busy, it's historic. The report also highlights that it's the second highest total in Atlanta's history, only a hair behind its 2019 record of 110 million. And it proves one thing beyond any doubt: Atlanta still owns the crown. Imagine a glowing map of the world lighting up with every major airport: Dubai, Tokyo, Chicago, Istanbul, London, and then Atlanta, sitting dead center at the top, the world's busiest airport once again. Let's break down what that actually means. Busiest isn't a single number. It's three different battles happening at once: total passengers, aircraft movements, and seat capacity. Atlanta either leads or sits near the top in all of them year after year. In 2024, it saw almost 800,000 takeoffs and landings. That's a flight movement roughly every 40 seconds. Blink and another one's gone. Why is Atlanta the king? Let's find out. If Atlanta's airport is the crown, Delta Airlines is the diamond that keeps it shining. You can't talk about ATL without talking about Delta. It's not just the hometown airline, it's the heartbeat that keeps the whole system alive. Headquartered right here in Atlanta, Delta isn't merely a tenant, it's the architect of ATL's dominance. The airline's presence doesn't just create flights, it creates an economy. With more than 100,000 employees worldwide and tens of thousands working in Georgia, Delta's both an employer and an ecosystem. Every day, roughly 5,000 Delta and Delta Connection flights take off, linking more than 300 destinations across 6 continents. That's an unimaginable amount of motion. Every route, every connection, every crew rotation feeds directly into Atlanta's numbers. Picture it. A passenger from a small town in Alabama hops on a 50-seater regional jet to Atlanta, and from there, connects straight to Paris, Tokyo, or Sao Paulo. That single transfer chain, multiplied thousands of times a day, is what turns Atlanta into the crossroads of the world. According to Delta News Hub, in 2024, Delta carried over 200 million passengers, safely, efficiently, with the kind of consistency most airlines can only dream of. That alone explains why Atlanta saw its numbers climb past 108 million travelers. But it's not just about volume, it's about execution. Delta won major awards for punctuality, reliability, and service. From J.D. Power's top ranking in premium economy to being named North America's most on-time airline by Cirium. When you move 200 people a year and still earn best-in-class awards, that's not luck, that's discipline. Delta's hub strategy puts ATL right at the center of its global spiderweb. It's the ultimate connector, linking regional American towns to intercontinental routes through a single seamless hub. Add SkyTeam partners like Air France, Korean Air, and Virgin Atlantic into the mix, and suddenly ATL's reach extends everywhere, from London to Lima to Seoul. And then there's Delta's forward-looking edge: free high-speed Wi-Fi on hundreds of aircraft, investments in sustainable aviation fuel, and a long-term goal toward carbon neutrality. All of it keeps ATL's image modern and future-focused. So when people talk about ATL's 108 million passengers, they're really talking about Delta's orchestration. Every takeoff, every arrival, every connection. It's all part of an empire running under perfect organization. ATL might wear the crown, but Delta's the one holding it for ATL. But even Delta alone couldn't be number one without ATL. And that's where ATL's strategic location, infrastructure, and immaculate level of efficiency in managing traffic come into play. That's the advantage. Let's start breaking it all down with a simplistic analysis. ATL isn't just another airport dropped in the middle of nowhere. It's strategically planted in the heart of the southeastern United States. According to the Georgia Department of Economic Development, from here, you can reach about 80% of the U.S. population within a 2-hour flight. 80%! Think about it. It's like being perfectly placed at the center of a giant web of connections. Whether you're flying for business, heading home, or jumping continents, Atlanta's just conveniently there. But being well placed doesn't automatically make you number one. You got to use that location smartly, and Atlanta did exactly that. The airport's layout is an absolute masterclass in design. 5 long parallel runways stretch across the airfield, letting multiple planes take off and land at the same time without crossing paths. It's like organized chaos, except it's not chaos at all. It's beautifully controlled. Then there's the plane train, the underground people mover that connects every concourse like clockwork. Missed your gate? Don't worry, the plane train's got you covered. You can move between terminals in minutes, something passengers at other airports can only dream about. Now, let's talk numbers. In 2024, Atlanta recorded over 796,000 aircraft movements, up 2.6% from the previous year. That's more than 2,100 takeoffs and landings a day, or roughly one every 40 seconds. Wild, right? Yet despite all that action, ATL remains one of the world's most on-time airports. Airlines love the level of reliability, because in aviation, every minute counts and every delay costs. But here's the thing people forget. Efficiency isn't just machines and runways, it's people. Tens of thousands of workers keep this massive ecosystem alive. Controllers guide nonstop streams of flights, ground crews choreograph every pushback, and baggage handlers move over 275,000 bags every single day. So yeah, ATL's secret isn't luck, it's infrastructure, it's design, it's people who've turned busy into an art form. Before we find out about the emerging rivals for ATL, why don't you take a moment to subscribe to this channel so you don't miss out on our updates. We post a new video on aviation business stories every week. So if you want to stay up on the latest news around global aviation, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and smash that bell icon. All right, let's be real. Every king eventually faces challengers. And for Atlanta, the challengers are lining up fast. Because right now, the numbers are way too close for comfort. As per OAG Aviation, the projections for October 2025 show that ATL will have 5.42 million, which is just 1.4% ahead of Dubai International Airport, DXB, which is estimated to handle 5.35 million seats. The difference? Just 74,000 seats. That's less than 2%. Practically nothing. You could blink and miss that gap. So what's the deal? Why is Dubai suddenly breathing down Atlanta's neck? Well, it comes down to focus. ATL thrives on domestic dominance. DXB feeds on international energy. Atlanta connects America, hundreds of U.S. cities, millions of domestic travelers. Dubai, on the other hand, connects the world. Europe, Asia, Africa, all funneled through one desert super hub. 2 airports, 2 philosophies, 1 intense finish line. And Dubai is not alone in the chase. Tokyo Haneda HND is right behind, serving 4.69 million seats. Down just a hair, about 2% from last year. Haneda runs with almost robotic precision, but it's limited by Japan's crowded airspace. Give it more capacity and it can easily move up the ranks. Then there's Chicago O'Hare, ORD, the comeback story nobody saw coming. Up a massive 11% this year. It's handling 4.64 million seats and reclaiming some of that old school swagger. And let's not ignore Istanbul Airport, IST, the youngest of the giants. Up 9% year over year, now pushing 4.53 million seats, and it's just getting started. Istanbul's got room to grow for decades and aims to handle 200 million passengers a year once fully developed. That's not ambition, that's a statement. Here's the real kicker. These airports aren't just big, they're smart. Dubai rarely faces weather delays. Tokyo runs with surgical precision. Istanbul, massive space and modern infrastructure. Each one's designed for global transfer traffic, and each one's learning fast. So when we say Atlanta's the world's busiest airport, what does that actually mean? Because here's the thing, not all busiest titles mean the same thing. Some airports top the charts for total passengers, others for aircraft movements, and some for seat capacity. Basically, how many seats airlines plan to sell. ATL just happens to dominate or hover near the top in all three. But the real story, it's why those numbers happen. According to Road Genius, in 2024, about 86.5% of ATL's traffic is domestic. And that's its bread and butter, short domestic hops that add up to jaw-dropping volume. Every small-town connection, every quick business flight, every family business, it all passes through Atlanta. It's like America's air traffic heartbeat. That's how ATL hits these huge numbers even though most of its flights aren't long-haul. Compare that with Dubai, DXB. Fewer total passengers, but far longer routes. Nearly everyone passing through DXB is an international traveler, connecting continents. Europe, Asia, Africa. It's a different game. Dubai wins on distance and reach. Atlanta wins on frequency and flow. But when you flip the lens and look at international passengers, Dubai takes the clear lead. Two very different stories, two very different kinds of busiest. And that's what most people miss. Busiest doesn't always mean largest or most global, it means the most efficiently connected. ATL's dominance comes from a perfect match for domestic demand, smart layout, and Delta's strategic web of flights. Dubai's rise, on the other hand, is fueled by its international gateway model. So next time you hear ATL called the world's busiest airport, remember, it's not just about bragging rights. Different airports move people differently. But Atlanta, it still moves more of them, more often than anyone else. So the big question, can Atlanta actually keep its crown? Because the race isn't slowing down anytime soon. Atlanta's leadership sure isn't sitting back. Their 5-year vision is bold. The airport wants to handle 125 million passengers annually. That's a 15% jump from today, and it's not wishful thinking. They're actively building for it. Massive investments are already underway. We're talking modernized terminals, expanded concourse D&T gates, new taxiways, and an upgraded plane tracking system that predicts congestion before it happens. Add in smart lighting, energy-efficient systems, and AI-driven control centers, the kind that monitor weather, passenger flow, and aircraft turnaround in real time. And ATL is quietly reinventing itself to stay one step ahead of chaos. Of course, Delta remains the backbone of all of this. The airline's not just maintaining its presence, it's expanding. New international routes, upgraded cabins, and sustainability programs like Sustainable Aviation Fuel, SAF, are helping Delta future-proof its operations. Free in-flight Wi-Fi and upgraded lounges make the experience smoother, but more importantly, every Delta innovation ripples through ATL's entire network. If Delta grows, ATL grows. Simple as that. But let's be honest, Dubai isn't slowing down. It's adding terminals, extending runways, and optimizing for long-haul traffic that ATL simply can't match. Istanbul's pushing even harder, positioning itself as the perfect bridge between Europe and Asia, and its growth potential is off the charts. Both are modern, built for scale, and chasing the same title. And then there are ATL's own challenges: congestion, limited expansion space, sustainability pressures, and shifting travel patterns post-pandemic. The next few years will test how well it balances growth with reliability, because at nearly 800,000 flights a year, there's not much margin for error. Still, if history's any guide, ATL's got what it takes. Through recessions, airline crises, and even global shutdowns, it's never truly stumbled. That's what makes Atlanta special. Not just the numbers, but the consistency behind them. So maybe the real answer isn't whether ATL keeps the crown, but whether anyone else can earn it. Because being the world's busiest isn't about a single year's stats, it's about decades of relentless motion, connection, and the will to keep the world flying. If you like this video, make sure to give a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel, Jet Logic. We'll soon be back with another fascinating story from the world of aviation. So until next time, it's goodbye